Hello everyone, this is Divya, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science with Data Analytics, Dr. SNS Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science. In today's class, we just make a discussion on how the data travels from the sender to receiver over the network. So we just make absolutely, we just make a discussion on computer networks concepts. Yes, so in second slide, we just have a topic on how the packets journey from the sender to receiver. So normally in your network path, when the computers, for example, if I am taking the computer A, which is send the message to the computer B, right? Just imagine that. So which is converted the data into the packets while traveling over the multiple networks here. So when it reaches from computer A to computer B, particular data will be converted as multiple packets and which is cross multiple routers here. So here the internet service providers also we have to face the particular data is crosses in ISP also. So from the various network infrastructure, when the data travel from one data to another, from one network to another network, there is a overcomes of multiple layers also which is used to travel. Yes, so if it is I'm taking computer A, which is fine first, which is start with the local router here. So from the first, which is processing the local router, reaches the local router, and next which is reaches the internet over the network, and finally which is final destination router will be crossed here. So at the end of the destination, the computer B will be reached here. Yes. So next OSI model here. So normally we knows that OSI model which is having the 7 different layer for the communication of the data. So first the OSI, that is open system interconnection models, describes the 7 different layers which is the data travels from one layer to another layer here. So our packets are journeys from the down these layers here. So first which is reaches the application, if it is user interface which is creating the message here. Next presentation layer, normally your presentation layer which is describes the data will be encrypted here. In session layer the connection for the data will be created here. In transport layer normally your data in encrypted data is segmentation that is data will be segmented as a different segments, and also which is having the ports here. So every segments which is having the port number here. So in your network layer where the IP addressing and routing will be happens here, so every ports having the particular IP address here. So next we go with the data link layer. Normally your data link layer which is having the MAC addressing. So the data link layer which is giving you the MAC addressing for the both destination and source layer, source data here. So finally your physical layer, so this physical layer which is converting your data into the bits here. So next slide we just making the encapsulation of the particular data, that is how the each layer is happening, how the data will be converted here. So first adding the header at the each layer. So for the first, the data original message will be converted as a segment. Here the diagram is represents that normally your transport layer is making the segment, and here network layer which is converting is into the packet, and data link layer which is adding the MAC address to your particular frame, and bits will be, the data will be converted as the bits in your physical transmission. So adding the header at the each layer, so at the data travels from the down the OSI layer, the sender and the each layer adds its own header information. So the process which is called encapsulation here. So the original message transformed from the single data into the multiple complex structure containing the routing, addressing and other control information necessary for the particular delivery here. So next we go with the upper layers. So upper layers of 7 OSI layers which is called as application layer, presentation layer and session layer. So here in application layer which is creates the message. For example, I'm typing the hello message in chat application which is in, or it may be a email. So this will be interaction begins. So first application layer which is making the interaction begins, which is called message orientation. There's a message will be created here. In presentation layer normally your text data will be encrypted and formats the data for the secure transmission. So it may be SSL or TESL encryption and data compression. It may be a format conversion. So next we go with the session layer. So in your session layer, the establishment and maintenance and termination of the communication session layers will be the between the application on the different device here. So session establishment can be happen, and authentication and connection management, everything in your case of session layer here. So next we go with the transport and network layer, that is routing. Normally it is called the transport and network layers is called as routing intelligence here. So in your transport layer, which is break the data into the segments. So normally your data will be break into the segment which is adding the ports number here. So which is a TCP ensure that which is reliable and connection oriented. UDP is concentrated on the fast and connectionless here. Next we go with the network layer. Normally your network layer which is assigning the IP address for the both source and destination routers here. So for example, if it is IP addressing, the source will be the for example, if I am taking the IP address for the sources, it may be 192.168.1.10. The destination may be another set of IP addressing having. So here the network layer giving you the IP address for the both source and the destination layers here. So next we go with the lower level layers. Normally the data link layer and physical layer is called as lower link layer. So normally data link layer which is giving you the MAC addressing, and physical layers is converting your data finally into the bits here. So next, yes, crossing the internet hop by hop, that is routing process. It can be the packet travels through the multiple routers across the internet. For example, the IP address updates the routing headers and forwards through the packets to the next hop based on the routing tables here. So normally router receive the packets and which is go with the routing table lookup and header update and forward packet. These are the process in your routing process. So next we go with decapsulation. So finally the encapsulated data will be again decapsulated from lower to upper layer. That is when the bits are received in your physical layer, which is again converts the signals. Next we go with the data link layer, which is verify the MAC addresses here. Next it reaches the network layer, which is confirms the IP address here. Next when it reaches the transport layer, again the data segmentations will be reassembled here. So finally your application layer displays the message deliver. So final assembly will be all the packets will be reassembled into the correct order, and TCP for the completeness and accuracy, which is finally displayed to the original message to the source to destination here. So which is called as in decapsulation, that is when the receiver reverse the process occurs and the headers are removed layer by layer is the process called decapsulation. So next, yes, from the application to the network, it's back again. Yes, a packet's journey is complete here. The traveling layers by the layers over the OSI layers. So hopping across the routers and networks through the internet and climbing up the layers at the destinations here. So this is the final point on the in day-to-day life. We just making the that data transmission within a fraction of seconds, right? But in behind that, these all the process happen within seconds, milliseconds here. So normally your data travels from one network to another network over the OSI network layer. So every layer having the particular work to making the data accurate and to when it reaches from the resource to destination. So hope you all understand. So next class we just go through the another concept of computer networks. Thank you so much.